Hi everyone. So the other day I was checking my scented candle and I saw that there was a big hole in it, and this is the second time this has happened to me, and it just wastes so much wax. By the end, if I continue burning the candle this way, I would have wasted at least 30% of the wax that is here. So I thought it was such a waste, and I started browsing the internet for solutions, and voila, there are. And I saw a great opportunity to teach some new vocabulary with a fun fact. So first of all, those are scented candles, okay? Not perfumed candles, but scented candles. And the scented candles are made of wax. The material could be paraffin, but basically you're gonna call this part wax. And a fun fact, if the container is glass, usually you're gonna call it candle jar. If the container is ceramic, it's gonna be called candle vessel. And if it is made of metal, it's gonna be called tin, candle tin. So this is interesting. They have a different vocabulary depending on the material that is used. As you can see, mine is made of glass, so therefore this is a candle jar. So this is a pretty small candle jar. There are bigger ones with a bigger diameter here, right? And you're gonna see this is gonna be important later on. But let's continue on the vocabulary. So scented candle. This little thing here, the one that you light, is called wick, right? So what happens after some time? At least it happened to me, so it has happened to me twice. After a while, there's this big hole, which is called candle tunneling. There is a word for that. That's so cool. So this is candle tunneling. And pretty soon, as you can see, my candle here has a big tunnel. So what is going to happen with my wick? The candle, the wax that is gonna melt, is gonna drown the wick. And so the wick is gonna get snuffed out. You know, snuffed out means out. So why? Because it is the wax is gonna melt and the liquid is gonna drown the wick. So that's the problem with the tunneling. But there are solutions I found in the internet. Bless God. So here, first, the first burn of the candle is very important. So the first time you burn your candle, you're gonna light the candle, and the verb is irregular, light, lit, okay? So when you light the candle, you're gonna allow it to burn for a while. It's gonna depend on the diameter here, the surface of the candle. So mine is pretty small, you know, I would say 10 centimeters? So probably I would have to wait a couple of hours, because the point is allowing the whole surface to burn equally. So it's all gonna melt it, and that is in the first burn. Why is that important? What happens here is that normally when you light a candle, you burn the candle, and then when you're done, you just blow it, right? Put it out. And this center, just the part of the wax that is gonna burn is the one around the wick. And that's gonna be softer. So the next time you burn the candle, it's gonna burn the softer part. And this part on this side is gonna be harder. And therefore, it becomes this barrier here, you see? So that creates the tunnel. Now, the first burn you are gonna allow the whole surface, you're gonna see if the whole surface is well burnt, it's gonna form that liquid there. Once that is formed, you can put it out. And then you're gonna wait for a couple of days because it all has to harden. You have to wait until it's all dry for you to burn a second time. And after that, you are not gonna have the candle tumbling anymore. Now, you ask me, so what do I do with this now? Do I have to dispose of this? No, there are solutions. So there are two solutions I saw. Let me tell you what my solution was. As you can see, what did I think wrongly? I lit the candle and I saw that the tunneling was forming, and pretty soon the wick was gonna be drawn. So what did I do? I held the candle, like I tilted it a bit so that it would burn the sides. And what happened to my candle jar? It charred. You see this color? So all the elegance that I wanna have in my candle is gone. But you see, my point was I was trying to burn it around the wick. Now, there is a better solution for this. So there is one trick that is with a blow dryer. Yeah, the one that you use to style your hair. That one, you have to use the blow dryer from a distance. Do not get too close. Okay, be careful because melted wax is dangerous. It burns, so. But from a distance. Now, have I tried it? Yes, I have. It takes forever. I don't have time. I don't have the time for that, really, honestly. But if you are, you know, and it's not something you can do watching TV, do you agree? Because it's blowing and it's that noisy. It took forever, so that didn't work. There is another trick using tin foil. Tin foil or aluminum foil, right? The one that you use when you cook. You're gonna cover the candle jar or the candle vessel or the candle tin, whatever you have at home, with a tin foil. And where the wick is, you're gonna make a small hole there in the center where the wick is. Remove the tin foil, light the candle, put the tin foil back, and wait it, because the tin foil is gonna create like an oven and melt the remaining sides, these barriers here that you see in the candle. Be careful because it's gonna get really, really hot. But after a while, you can check if it has already melted. But what happens here is that depending on how deep the tunnel is, you might not be able to save it because the wick is already shorter, right? So my solution, I've tried to melt this, but I'm gonna try the tin foil trick and I'll let you know. If you have already tried it, please make a comment, tell me if it worked. But the first burn, that's gonna be the first thing I do in my next scented candle. I don't want anything to be wasted and I don't want it charred like that and look so ugly. So what's the point? The point is, there are things we are interested in, things that we have to look up in the internet and learn several new words in the process. This is a fascinating and fun way to learn new vocabulary. Try that, because the information you have that you look up in English, you have from different places. So you have much more. So try that. You learn something new and you learn English and vocabulary and structures. There you go. If you like this content, please just click that button. See you next time. Subscribe for more. Thank you very much.